Hello everyone, how are you? Now, the wonderful things about COVID has been, oh my God, a lot of crap, a lot of things that have happened along the way, but even in a wonderful day today, we can only have so many people in the audience, so thank you for being here, and we're just gonna chat with you for a little bit. We were downstairs doing a podcast about the shortage in skilled trades, and we just finished, came back up here to get up and talk to you guys, because we have a really big problem with the shortage of skilled trades. That's a podcast you're going to watch. I'm going to have to keep doing it because we did not have enough time, so I'm going to get into a second podcast about it. I love that my son was there, my son Michael Holmes.
Yeah, we do this thing where we talk too much sometimes, and I think that's what maybe makes the television show work. So we ran a bit late. I think we're a little late, so we're sorry, but nice to be here and see everyone.
So this is all about how to hire right. Now, in the world of construction, since I was 19 running a major company and to the date of my son in my company working like crazy, one thing has continuously happened. And that is, mom and dad, people at home, let's do the kitchen. You think so, honey? Yes, let's do the kitchen.
And the bathroom while we're at it.
And let's do the bathroom too.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they get excited. And when they get excited, they call in a contractor, maybe 3. I don't know what it is in the numbers of 3 in my world. It's not enough. But in those 3 different contractors coming in, did they talk to the right people? Because they're excited about doing something, they want to jump forward on doing this. What they end up doing is looking for a heartbeat rather than doing things properly. And I'm going to give you an example. We started, the second #1 show we did was Mike Holmes Inspections. And the reason why that was so big is because I was getting so many emails around the world, because the show's around the world, about, I've hired a home inspector. We've got an issue. Can you come help us? And this really came down to because mom and dad got excited about buying a new house and went out and looked for a house before
Getting a home inspection. Now,
or a home inspector.
Or a home inspector. Now let me talk about home inspections as a whole for a second. Right now, how does everyone feel about the real estate market? It's crazy right now. So, now, this is one of the reasons why hiring a home inspector is so valuable. I luckily bought my house about 5 years ago. Now, when I bought my house, I used Mike Holmes Inspections, used a home inspector, before I put it. So I put a condition on the offer to get a home inspector. Because of that, my home inspector gave me a report back saying, you need a new water main, you have vermiculite in your attic, which could contain asbestos, all of these problems. Now what I did from there is I talked to contractors and I said, I presented this to the real estate agent and made a counter offer on this house, ended up saving $30,000. So just on this point alone, saving money on your house, on your new purchase, a home inspector is very valuable. Now also getting insight on one of your biggest investments is extremely valuable. So this is why he had a successful TV show in home inspections.
However, here's what's happened today. You can't put conditions on a house to get that house because there's 1,400 people behind you going, no conditions, no conditions.
Yeah.
Is this intelligent in buying a house with no conditions? Well,
it's just as intelligent as paying $300,000 more.
Okay, so let's go buy a car just for 5 minutes. We're gonna go buy a car. We're not gonna test drive it.
No.
We're not gonna look under the hood.
Don't want to see it.
Do not look at the engine. Don't look at the tires.
But the outside looks nice.
The paint job is good.
Yeah.
Will you buy the car? No. No, seriously, no one's gonna buy that car.
Yeah.
This has been, wow. I mean, for Mike Holmes Inspections, it's across Canada, and the reason I started Mike Holmes Inspections wasn't to inspect homes. It was actually to document the builds of the homes approved builders across the country moving into the United States. And I had an idea on what I needed. At the same time, Mike Holmes Inspections could inspect your homes. The issue, again, is that as long as you want to buy in a crapshoot, because that's what this is, you might as well go play the slot machine hoping the hell you're going to win. But this is the scenario. So I'm going to change this just for a moment.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking through Georgetown. Anna's talking about buying in Georgetown. She says it's the next, place to buy. She was right. I'm going to tell you, 200,000 years ago, I should have bought 14 houses because every house there right now is 1.5 million. And that wasn't too long ago. I looked at houses that I personally walked into and said, oh, the electrical's done. The structure's wrong. Everyone that's touched this house, you know me, you watch the show, it's all wrong. It's going to cost a fortune to fix. So Joe Blow buys the house. When I say Joe Blow, I don't know who he is. His
Whoever.
name is Joe.
It could be anyone.
He buys the house. All of a sudden, 4 years later, he's almost doubled his money. So did I make a mistake?
I mean, some might say you might have.
Because I could have bought that house for a lot cheaper.
You could have bought that house, yeah, you could
But
have.
knowing was the point. I knew there was a lot of structural issues. I looked at many houses in Georgetown. I ended up buying one because Anna really wanted it, and I ended up buying one. The point is that I actually shrugged it off and said, I'm not interested because I knew what it was going to take to fix the place. I'm an honest guy. It's going to cost me 600 grand to bring this house back to normal. Never mind introduce it to the world of possibilities of making it beautiful for me and the family.
But this is what you're talking about. When he says playing the slot machines, this is exactly what he means. Okay, so maybe,
When you don't know.
maybe he made a mistake back then saying, I didn't buy. However, that can go both ways. All of a sudden someone comes in saying, well, this is a growing area, this is up and coming, I can make a lot of money if I just buy and sit on it. Now what happens if the market drops? And then you need a lot of money in repairs on your home. This is why it is important. This is why you got to be patient and get the proper people involved. Get a home inspection. Get someone who knows what they're talking about. Because yes, maybe in this one rare scenario, you may have lost out on an opportunity.
So one thing that most people have not felt was the recession many years ago. Anyone involved in a recession besides myself many years ago?
I mean, I've heard you talk about it a few times, so I feel like I'm involved.
So my son was not even born yet.
20 years ago.
My two daughters were born. I bought a house for $170,000. I am doing renos galore. That's what I do. I'm working on my house at the same time with a pregnant wife with my son on the way.
So no stress.
Yes, no stress. Here I am working on the house and a massive recession comes in. All of a sudden, everything, I didn't think I was going to get hurt because I make dreams come true. It's what I do. How can I fall in this industry? At the time, we all fell. It was something that most people will not experience. I don't want to talk about that too much. That was a time period that hit a lot of people. I knew real estate agents that had 20 houses. They all lost everything. They lost everything. Why? Because nobody expected that bubble to burst. Since that last recession, this bubble has exceeded, has doubled, has tripled, has quadrupled, has gone into a state of what? $1.3 million minimum for a piece of crap?
Sorry.
And is it going to change?
I mean, here's the thing. We don't know. I think it will change, but this is a speculation. We're making assumptions here. But imagine, to his point, you're a real estate agent, you're someone who's investing in properties, and you're saying, hey, we've hit the jackpot. I've got 10 homes, we're making great money here, recession hits. Now you got to carry the cost of all these homes. Maybe you don't have renters in there anymore.
Back then, the interest rates went from, I think 4% up to 14%. And if you got caught in a trap, you're at 18% on a second mortgage. That's not happening now, and due to, which is another subject in itself, due to the low interest rates has kept that bubble booming. And this is going to keep going for a while. So, long as we know that, this is good. It's not about, is it going to happen? It's about when is it going to happen, and we all need to be prepared for that. Never have the noose around the neck like I did when he was about to be born. I had the noose around the neck. I didn't know it. My interest rates were at 5%. I was on a variable, went up to 14%. I couldn't believe it. In a year, 14%. I had my butt kicked. That is an awful lot of a big increase. At 170,000, that was nothing. At 1.3 million right now, that's everything you can imagine. So we won't focus on that. We're going to focus on a moment on what we need to do to hire right.
Hire it and then build right.
This is all about, we talked about the emotions earlier, doing a new kitchen, a new bathroom, like Michael said, and hiring the first person that came in, forgetting the part that we may be hiring wrong. We need to trust our instincts. I have 3 rules, Mr. Holmes, 3 rules.
I mean, you've given me a lot of rules over the years. I'm going to take a wild shot in the dark here. Build from the outside in. Is that one of them? I don't know. There's so many rules. I might be. I'm
1, slow down.
There it is.
Educate yourself before you even talk to a contractor.
That's right.
2,
hire a licensed contractor, get it in writing, get a proper contract set in place, and don't hire the cheapest contractor.
well, it's not about the cheapest and it's not about the most expensive. You need to learn to trust your instincts. You need to, once you slow down, educate yourself, come to Improve Canada. This place is a place where you're going to find the things you want to see in your home. And if you even don't, you can ask advice. There's enough places and people in here to give you the advice you need to move to level 2. Talk to at least 3 different contractors, and I would encourage you to talk to at least 20.
Well, here's the thing. You got to do your homework. Again, this is one of your most expensive, one of your biggest investments you're going to make. You're going to want to make sure that the person working on it is the right person. So going back to saying, maybe don't hire the cheapest. Hey, they could work out to be the best contractor, but you need to be willing to do your homework and vet these contractors out properly.
You don't have to know how to do it. You have to know what they need to tell you. Moving into number 3 is, how do you check out your contractor? So, when I come into a house, I gave them 100 references. This is what I've done since I was 19. Each and every time, 100. I don't need to give 1,000. I could give a lot more than that right now, but 100 references. Why? Because I want people to know who I am. I'm going to tell you, phone them, go see them. What we're seeing continuously, which I thought by now after 21 years of filming television, things would change, that things would be better. They haven't changed. They're not better. What's happened now is there's more people with more houses, with more problems, looking for more contractors to fix their problems. So this is just actually escalated. You need to see a contractor, first of all, that shows up on the time he said he was going to be there, he or she. Number 1, red flags galore. First red flag, you didn't show up, red flag. How many red flags do you want? What's the second red flag?
Not getting permits.
Not even talking about permits.
Yeah, saying you don't need permits. Say, oh wait, it's okay, this wall's structural, we don't need an engineer, we don't need a permit. Red flag.
Don't worry, I know people.
Yeah.
Why do we need a permit? Somebody put up your hand and tell me, why do we need a permit? You.
To protect you, to protect your investment, to
Yeah.
make sure that everything is built properly.
Did you know if you don't pull a permit, who's responsible, the contractor or the homeowner? Homeowner. So just knowing that means you are caught in a trap, like Elvis Presley saying, I'm caught in a trap. I can't really sing.
Is
You
it Caught in a
that?
Trap? I don't know if I've heard that one. Is that a
I
song?
can't walk out.
I'm all shook up?
No. That's
No?
another-
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
but
all
you
right.
will be shook up after
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
crap. This is about making sure you do things right, structurally, electrical. Did anyone know right now that today, the only trade that you can actually be in trouble with is the electrical? ESA is Electrical Safety Authority. That's the only company out there that can fine you, the homeowner, the contractor, massive amounts of money. I thought it was $50,000. They can fine you up to $250,000. How would you like to be fined because you hired the wrong guy that screwed you on your home?
Not just that. Think about if something goes wrong. Fines aside, you take down a structural wall. Now that structure isn't properly supported. You have something that happens in your home, your structure fails, or an electrical fire happens, or a plumbing leak happens, and now because you didn't get a permit, you're not covered. Insurance isn't going to touch you with a 10-foot pole.
You hear what my son just said? Insurance. Insurance has gotten so savvy over the years that they have learned mathematically how to keep your money instead of giving it back to you. It's the only reason have not ever gone bankrupt, even in severe weather storms. Insurance means if there's an electrical fire and you've done renovations on your home and they find out that Joe Blow came in and did the electrical, they will not insure your home. Did you know that? So that means it's your problem because you did not do the job right. Isn't that a bad thing? To me, that's a bad thing. Is that on television?
I mean, I think there's a show about it somewhere. I'm not sure what it's called, or
Is that Homes on Homie?
Homes on. It's ringing a bell. I think you're getting
It's
somewhere.
Homes and Homes.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that my last name would turn into a television show of fixing things right? Look, for years, the only reason I do television is to educate people, is to educate my family, and to try and help people make the right choice and make the right decisions and not get screwed. Can you imagine the toughest thing I've ever done? And when we get up to speak, it's usually 10,000 people. So I love that it's just us here, and it's personal, it's up close.
I can't believe there's only 1,000 a year today.
I know, it's at least 25,000.
Yeah.
The number one problem I have, and I've addressed it today, is just coming here, is people coming up to me going, can I talk to you? Can I ask you a question? I know right away what's going to happen.
I need your help.
I need your help. They show me pictures. I'm in trouble. And I can't help everyone. And I try so hard. That's why I do it through television. The more that we do to find out what we need to know, which is why I'm going to keep doing this, 21 years we have been doing television. You imagine that, 21 years? Who's Bob the Builder? They don't even know his name anymore.
I think it's that guy. It's Bob.
Do you know the next thing we're doing is what? It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
Do you know we're doing a cartoon? The Holmes cartoon?
You do
Why?
now.
Why? I'm going to tell you, because it's for the young. It's to encourage them to get into the trades. It's to encourage young kids to be good, to be kind, to be wonderful to mom and dad, sisters and brothers. And you know what, I'm kind of proud of this. We've been working on this for 5 years now, and who would have thought that a legacy would be a cartoon? Fred Flintstone, longest running cartoon in history. Did you know that? I loved Fred Flintstone. I thought it went on for years. It didn't. There was only so many episodes, like Gilligan's Island.
Good show.
Who watched Gilligan's Island? Age is starting to happen.
But the reason you got into television in the first place, not a lot of people know the story of how this happened. I'll give you the very short version. Working behind the scenes on a television show, he just thought this will be a cool opportunity as a contractor. Then he said, you know what, your shows on HGTV, they're, for the younger audience, they're not good. He said other language, but we'll leave that aside.
It's contractor language.
Contractor language. And then he pitched what was Homes on Homes. And what got him, because he said, no, I'm not a TV star, I'm a contractor.
I was giving him an idea.
Then the producer said to him, how would you like to help thousands of families at a time? And that is exactly what he's talking about. This is why the show has lasted. This is why he's doing the show, is to educate people on how to do it right. This is why we tell people, build from the outside in. Hire a home inspector, hire a designer.
Don't do a kitchen before you do your roof.
No.
How many times have I got to say this?
Imagine doing a kitchen and then all of a sudden you have a leak. Maybe you have an electrical fire. Maybe you have mold behind the walls. Now this brand new kitchen you put in, maybe you spent $50,000, $100,000 on, you have to tear out because you didn't do it in the right order. We have to think long term. My dad has always said to me, it's like a game of chess. You have to think 10 steps ahead. You need to think 10 steps ahead with your home.